Hi, here's a short video on how to use the Autotrace capability of SolidWorks to create a sketch from an image. That image could be a photograph, it could be line drawings, it doesn't really matter as long as it's an image file. You can use that to automatically generate a sketch. In my case, I want to use a picture that I found on the internet of a turkey to create an outline of a turkey because I want to turn that into a cookie cutter. So the first thing you need to do is have that picture available to import into SolidWorks. So I will do that by using the snipping tool built into Windows. I'll just quickly make a snapshot of the turkey. I will then save that file to my downloads folder. And then once I've done that, I can close out that snipping tool. Now I need to jump over to SolidWorks. The Autotrace capability is an add-in, so I need to go to the Options button at the top of the screen. Click the down arrow, go to Add-ins, and make sure that the first column has a check mark in it to add Autotrace to my current session of SolidWorks. If I'd like it to be there whenever I start up SolidWorks, I need to check the second column as well. Then I click OK. Now I'm ready to import in that picture, in my case a picture of a turkey, into my workspace and use the Autotrace capability. In order to bring that in to create the sketch, I need to have a new part. So I click Part, New, click OK. And then once SolidWorks gives me my new part, now what I can do is go to the flyout menu, go to File, Sketch Tools, scroll down to the very bottom of the Sketch Tools, and you'll see where it says Sketch Picture. I select that, find where I have my image file that I'd like to bring in. In this case, you can now see mine. When you bring in the image, it also brings in a scaling tool for you. You can use that to adjust the scale of your picture. Okay. In my case, I'll leave it right now at the size that it is. Okay. You can adjust the transparency. Play with that if you want to make it hidden or not. In my case, I'm going to leave everything alone right now, and then I'm going to click the Next button. What that does is it takes me to the little helper file, or little wizard, for using Autotrace. And so we'll see that in just a second. What it's going to ask us to do is outline where we want the Autotrace to be performed. We can use the rectangle tool. We can use a lasso. I think I'll use the lasso just because it's a little more fun to drag it around. But you just need to encapsulate what it is you wanted the Autotrace to work with. Okay? Then you go and you click Begin Trace. And if you're lucky, you'll see a dark blue line around the border of the image that you captured within the trace settings. If not, if you don't like what you're seeing, like I don't like this little bend down here at the bottom, you've got 4 sliders that you can play with and slide back and forth and try adjusting to see if you can get a little more of a captured image. Okay? But when I slid that one, it generated this little blip up here in the corner. So now I got to try to get rid of that. Play with the settings a little bit. Play around till you're happy that you're pretty close to a good sketch. I could say I'm pretty close right now. Definitely worse that way, right? But that looks pretty good right there. So if it looks pretty good, then down at the lower side of the left screen in that property manager, you'll see where it says apply. And then click the green check mark to say you're done. And you'll see that you have close to your sketch, close to being finished. At this point, you can expand your sketch and see the sketch picture underneath. In my case, what I'm going to do is suppress that, I think, so that I can now look at my sketch without any of the photograph showing up. And I can check out what I've got. I got some weird shape right here I might want to clean up. Maybe add a fillet here to just get rid of this point location. I got a few of those actually, so I might say, no, I don't really like this image. Or I can say, yeah, it's good enough. It's where I'm happy. But let's do a little tweaking of it. So we'll click on Sketch, the Sketch tab I should say, edit the sketch, and now I'm going to use the Sketch Fillet tool and just go in, do some things here, make that a little more rounded, do the same thing up here. Boom. I guess I should do it here. Oops. Let's clear that out. It's not letting me grab them the way I wanted. Let's make that a little smaller. Spline 8 that it's grabbing. Clear this out. Let's try one more time. There we go. Just me being probably me. Do here. Okay. I don't need to do it everywhere, but you get the idea. Clean up your image. Get it the way you want. I want, my cookies to be good, shape-wise as well as taste-wise. So there. Get rid of that. Okay. It's important that you do, in my case, have a closed contour for what I need to do. So with all of this playing around, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. Looks close to that sketch of a turkey for me. So let's go from here. I can live with the little blip there. If I couldn't live with that, I could adjust that. I could play with that, refine that area, whatever. Now I've got my sketch. It is underdefined. I should probably fully define it. I'll leave that to you, for you to do. But in this case, we'll just go to Features. We'll do Extruded Boss Base. Let's make this, it's going to be a cookie cutter for me. So I'll go out 50 millimeters on that. And then I'll use the shell feature. I'm going to click shell. And if I want my cookie cutter to be open on both ends, I can do that. I'm pretty lazy. I just use the arrow keys. Let's make that wall thickness a lot less. Let's make it 3 millimeters, or even that's pretty big. But the image, the whole thing is pretty large. So you'll see how it looks now. So you kind of get that idea that now I have that cookie cutter. I could use a thin featured extrusion as well to do the same thing. I just would delete the extruded boss base and do a new boss base. I can just show you the screen of what it would look like for that sketch. And I would use thin feature to perform the same type of thing. I can even add a draft angle to what I'm doing if I really wanted to get picky. But in this short 10 minutes, I think you've gotten the idea of how you can take a shape from a photograph, have an outline generated, convert that to a sketch, and then use that sketch however you would like. In my case, I'm going to now go and bake some cookies. Have a great rest of your day.